I'm sitting here eating a salad. Remember, my daughter came in. Real talk. This is one of those supernatural moments. I literally just ended the live. Like, I've been studying for 4 hours straight. Okay. I have been doing videos for 4 hours straight. I just ended the live and said I was going to go get me something to eat. Y'all see, I ate my little salad, but the Bible, wow, this is blowing my mind. The Bible is still sitting in front of me where we ended off in Leviticus chapter 26, right? This is where we ended off, right? So I'm sitting here. Okay. So I'm sitting here just eating, literally like, well, I wonder what I'm gonna do next. I'm tired. I should probably go to bed, you know? So I'm sitting here just eating, going, I should probably go to bed. Wow. And then I put the food down and I look down and this is right here. I don't know if you see it. Now, y'all know I'm very funny acting about that subject. I am. But I've seen people literally, and myself, you know what I'm saying? I've, don't get me wrong, because I tithe, right? That's one of the things I do. Like, I give all, like, when I go to church, it would blow people's minds because I'm not a member of their church. So it felt good, honestly. I ain't gonna even lie, being in their church and then giving them a big offering, because I would be holding on to my money to give an offering when I would go to do worship service and stuff like that. I remember one time let me tell y'all a story, because this blew my mind. This wasn't supposed to be here, but because I had literally just said that God said there's somewhere where it literally is about like the neutral, like where it's not about good or bad. Like, it was important for a blessing for you. And he told me that if I keep acting too prideful, right, knowing I need help, and I keep acting too prideful, he said there is certain laws in the system of God that are set in place based upon belief. This is what he said. I'm telling y'all, because it's crazy, because that was the last thing I had said in the last video of, God literally said, remind them of like, basically, I didn't come from the church. You get what I'm saying? And he said, many of you have. So he said he knows through that I'm basically blocking your blessings, basically, is what he said. If I keep being prideful and not giving you the opportunity to help one of God's servants in need, I am blocking the biggest blessings of, like, huge blessings, is what he said. So I'm sitting here. The reason why I had to come back live is because I'm sitting here. I just put the food down, and I look down, and verse 30. Okay, stay with me real quick, because this is Leviticus chapter 27. We were just reading 26. Okay, look down. Y'all see how it is. Like, I look down right here, right? So I'm sitting, there's this, and that's what made me notice is there's this big spot right here. You get what I'm saying? So I look down and the word tithe is right there. And I go, whoa, God, wait, what you saying? And then he had me read it. So let me read this for you. So that way you can understand tithes better, right? Because all offerings aren't equal. You get what I'm saying? The tithe offering is you'll see, it's literally it can't be acknowledged as good or bad. It just is what I see, Father. I see it just is. So that 10th just is. Now I see what he means too, because this is so hard for me to say, y'all. I do not want y'all to think that but I feel him saying it, and I have to say it. I gotta say it, y'all. I don't want to, but I am. He said tithe is a belief offering. It's not about being like you know how when they sacrifice something, that one is about like being good or bad. But he said that tenth just is. And it's a belief offering. It's literally like when you know somebody is of God, and that, I mean, like that person is bringing you the message. He literally said that, I'm just gonna read it, but he literally, like, it's a big thing. I didn't understand how big, and I apologize for, because he's literally saying, like, no, you don't understand. You gotta make this a part of what you do, because if you don't, they can't wash away iniquity in belief. You get what I'm saying? It's like one thing to I promise y'all, I'm just telling y'all what I hear God saying. And if you watch this channel and really do believe that God is talking with me, you gotta hear what I'm saying. I wouldn't, and if you know me, you know I would rather be sleeping in my car than ask for help. Real talk. I'd rather, that's just me. That's all been my whole life. But it's done me it's done me well. I've been able to run after God in a different way than a lot of other people. I get it. But I'm telling you right now, the thing he said to me after the training we just had is real. Watch this. All tithes of the land, whether of corn or of fruit of tree, are the Lord's. Like that. Remember, I told you I didn't want to say this. No, y'all don't understand. I didn't even want to ask. And he was literally saying, no, you have to, because it's mine. It's a belief offering on their part. That's what he said. Please don't get mad at me. And look, I ain't got no viewers anyway, so great right now. Like, I'm gonna let you process what he said on your own time. But because like it was like he was saying, this ain't even about you again, because I've been blocking your blessing in that manner. I'm guessing, because he said, no, I put you in need on purpose. That's what God said. I put you to where you're literally about to lose everything on purpose. I made you have to say something to them. And if they don't, like, no. That's what he's saying. Don't you dare think. And y'all know I'm quaking in my boots right now. Like, I'm scared to death. Let me read it. Let me read it. All tithes of the land, whether of corn, and I used to hate the whole tithe, like when you be at church and the pastor got to say the tithe thing, I used to just be like, ah. And that's why I used to give such big tithes. I ain't gonna lie. When I come to your church, if I've been to your church, I done came and brought like literally the full tithe, and literally my check could be $1,000, right? And this the first time you ever saw me and I just brought $100 to your pastor. They used to act like, whoa, big, who is this person? And it was always my way of saying, God gave it to me and he said, do this with it. I'm gonna do it. But I ain't gonna lie, another part of it was, I ain't gonna lie, it was literally like to say it's nothing so that way, like, I'm being honest. I'm being so honest so that you can understand. Like, it was for God, but then when I saw how people would react, I'm just being honest, like, because I don't go to church. Y'all know this. And when I did go to church, it was far and few in between. The only church I went to where I stayed there for a while, God rest the pastor's soul, but he got caught doing some stuff, and it was they shut down the church because of it. But I felt like they shouldn't have shut down the church. People make mistakes. That man did a mistake, but he did help a lot of people in the process of what his ministry was. You get what I'm saying? So every time I would learn, like, the concept of tithe, I gotta admit, when I did it, it was literally like, I'm going to church. I don't know this church, because I never was a member of a church. And I was like, I don't know this church, but I want them to know that God came in the building when I came. You get what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm being honest. But that was what happened, because like the first time, like I said, I had a paycheck. It was over $1,000, and that made me go to church. And so I went into a church I don't know and gave them $100, and they went crazy. Like they were looking for me and everything. I ain't coming back to that church. That wasn't the plan to go to that church. You get what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. So as I'm sitting here, just got done eating, I asked God, well, I came back right away so that way y'all would see the supernaturalness of what just happened. You get what I'm saying? If I would have waited until tomorrow, y'all would have thought this was a message from me. I would have thought it was a message from me. But that's why I needed to document how everything is sitting. My plate is still here. Everything is the way it was 5 minutes ago when we ended the last live, okay? So with that being said, this is what God said. All tithes of the land, whether of corn or of fruits of trees, are the Lord's. It was like he was telling me, why are you telling them? Like, it was almost like he was saying, like when I had said, God said there's something about a blessing. But it was like, no, you need to know, they need to know that all tithes of the land are his, period. Right? That's what God was saying. And he said, all tithes of all tithes of the land, whether of corn or of fruit or tree, are the Lord's and are sanctified to him. Here's the part that made me hurry up and come back live. And if any man, listen to this, and if any man will redeem his tithes, he shall add the fifth part of them. If all the of all the tithes of oxen and sheep and goat that passes under the shepherd's rod, every tenth that cometh shall be sanctified to the Lord. Every tenth that cometh shall be sanctified to the Lord. But here we go. This is the part that, here we come. Now it's getting there. It shall not be chosen, neither good nor bad. Neither shall it be changed for another. I've never read this before in my life, y'all. Real talk. Like, I ain't never heard the pastor read this, okay? If any man change it, both that which was changed and that for which it was changed shall be sanctified. Yes, shall be sanctified to the Lord and shall not be redeemed. These are the precepts which the Lord commanded Moses for the children of Israel in Mount Sinai. The reason why he had me come back, because remember I told you guys, he had been telling me that my own pride, my own self-esteem, not wanting to be looked at as the church, like my own judgments of the church was blocking your blessings. That's what he told me. And so when I saw that it was literally like it has nothing to do with good, or it ain't about good or bad or any of that. He said flat out that it is to be sanctified unto him. When he showed me that, it was literally like you saw, like he gave me the verse of Christ. He gave me the verse of Christ. I see I got one viewer now. You probably didn't hear what I said earlier. And if you did, I want you to know this is the hardest having to come back. I came back this fast so no one could adulterate what God was saying. I did that. God told me I could have waited. Real talk. But I came back this fast so that everyone else could see what happened when I left. I was sitting here eating. Everything's the same. Leviticus 26. I just finished that off when we ended the thing. And he literally, so this is a hard teaching for me to give. But I hear him saying, many of your lives will depend on it. That's really what I hear him saying. Many, even this part, and I promise you, like it's so scary. This is scary, y'all. This is scary. Real talk. I promise you, that ain't me. This is God. God himself said, come back and let them know that the tithe is his. That's what he said. No, I didn't do it. I didn't say it. Like, I ain't trying to manipulate nobody, y'all. Look, I'm literally sitting here, just got done eating. This came up here, and then it said, I looked down just because I'm like, oh, ooh, you just, like, he just told me to tell y'all there was some place in that Bible where it had, I said, for a blessing. Like, it was literally like I was blocking your blessings is the way I felt it. When I read down and read this, no, he said, I'm putting a noose around your neck. That's what he said. Please forgive me. I ain't no pastor, real talk. But I did hear him saying, many of you are giving unto ground that is meant to rob God. I never thought I would say those words, but I hear him saying them. And he's saying, if you don't recognize this truth during a time such as this, oh, God, you really want me to say this? It's so hard. It's so hard. It's so hard. It's so hard. I don't want to say this. Ah! I'm just going to let him take over and say it. Oh, please, Father. Just take over and say it. It's hard. I've had big judgments about the church in this manner. I have. Me personally. That's why it's hard. You know, and I don't get me wrong. I knew God in it. So therefore I did it because the church doors do got to stay open. Because why do they got to beg for a new roof at the church? I agree, especially if it's a good service. That's another thing. I only would give if it was a good, to that church, if it was a good service, if I knew I saw God in there, the worship service was real, that's when. But it would always be the full tithe. That's why I think this jumped out at me because that was, okay, let me just, I'm just so, it's so hard, y'all. But I hear God saying, cut all that noise. I hear him saying, cut all that noise. He said, when I was hungry, you fed me. When I was in prison, you came to visit. When I was naked, you clothed me. He said, they then say, when, Father, did we see you? He said, when you do this for the least of these. And he said, people like, I ain't gonna say no names that will really mess y'all up, but there's a lot of big names. And he said, that ain't the least of these. I hear him saying, I gotta tell y'all what he's saying. I hear him, he said, this too is a test and a trial. He said, even in this, because this ain't got nothing to do with her. This has to do with knowing my voice. This has to do with keeping my doors open. This has to do with proving that you believe. Because if you give into ground that just looks good, like, oh, you want me to say this? You want me to say this? Oh, he wants me to say this. He said, you know how you give every month to the mega church. He said, you know how you give every month to the people that's lying to you. But he said, He said, right now, this is a part of anti-Semiticness, that there is a spell. He said, go read. Uh, he said, go read Elijah. He said, go read about Elijah and how no one was willing to help men and women of God. So he said, right now, you gotta pay attention to the truth of the spell. And he said, it ain't got nothing to do with good or bad. And I hear you, Father. He said, now read it to them. After you've said that, now read it to them. And he said, all tithes of the land, whether corn or of the field of the trees, are the Lord's and are sanctified to him. And if any man will redeem his tithes, he shall add the fifth part of them, and all of the tithes of oxen and sheep and goat that pass under the shepherd's rod, every tenth that cometh shall be sanctified to the Lord. It shall not be chosen neither good nor bad. Because that's what I was trying to tell y'all. And it was like when I looked down, I was trying to tell y'all, because that's what it felt like when he talks to me. It's some feelings, you know. But it was like the feeling was I was blocking your blessing. Like there was something, he literally said there was something that if I stay that way, and if, let's say, forgive me, y'all. Oh, this is so hard to say. It's so hard to say. But he said, I just heard him say, get some self-esteem. He said, if you the wisdom spoken of, where wisdom will be justified by her children, where wisdom will count the dates, where if you a witness and you know it, and they watch you perish, he said, think about what I'll do to them. I'm telling you, I know, don't you? I'm sorry. It was like, that's what he was saying about, like I said, blocking blessings, but it's literally like, he said, this is that moment that Christ spoke of where, oh, I'm so sorry, y'all. Like, no, not so sorry. I hear you, Father. I hear you. He said, get some self-esteem if you're going to be wisdom. But he said, this is a part of the anti-Semitic or that spell, because he said, go read Elijah. He said, all my great prophets, they killed instead of helping. They watched them go to the dirt instead of helping. And I'll tell you, he always told me that this was good ground, that I need to let them know it's good ground. That's what he always said. And it was hard. Like, y'all see me. I'm like, I know y'all struggling too. But I hear God saying, you got to understand, daughter, this ain't even about you or them. This is about their belief. This is about your money where your mouth is. This ain't about good or bad. This is about when it's all tallied up, 10% of it is just his, and it's sanctified to where even if you had bad money, it just got sanctified. Even if you had took the whatever the case may be, he's showing me that anything given unto this ministry is sanctified. Because I hear him saying, like, the least of these. Like, it's like the image he's giving me is, I don't know that man's name. And I don't want to say no names, but I don't know his name. He's a mega man. Oh, I can't think of his name. But he said that ground ain't good. He said there's many people that aided in that man's fall. What is his name? I don't know his name. He's a white man. Oh, and he's got a huge mega church. And God said, like, like I see the feeling I hear him saying is watch where your money go though. Because you don't even know a part of it is his, period. Like that's the way he's saying. So I'm gonna say this. Can I say that, Father? I was about to give a consent. I was about to try to get y'all out of it. Real talk. But can I say that, Father? Okay. I hear him saying that choose this day whom you shall serve. However you see fit, but he, like basic, I was about, this is what I was about to say. I was about to say, I'm sorry, I can't even read that right now because it's like I can't believe he's forcing me to do this right now like this. You get what I'm saying? Look, I literally was trying to eat. And the one thing that I just was freaking out is sitting here. And the only reason why I noticed it is because this, like, it made me look at it. To where, you eating like a kid who has the food, the cereal box in front of you. You get what I'm saying? So it's that moment for me where this is like this. Let me just say what he say. Hold on. Let me just say what he say. Ooh. He said, many of you will understand this analogy. He said, think about if someone like your mother or someone passed away. This is a real life analogy, and this is somebody's situation, real talk. So don't think I'm talking about you in particular, young lady, okay? But this is somebody's situation, and he said, bring this forth. Picture that your mother passed away, right? And literally there was an inheritance that was spread out to make sure you survive without your mom, right? But your sister literally deemed you incompetent, like basically said that's the stupid one of the family. So we're not gonna give her, or she's the one that, uh, is the lowliest of them all. We're not going to trust her with the inheritance, so we're gonna take it from her, right? And we're going to give it to people with better ground, more in line with our, the way we think mommy's money should have went, right? So God is saying, think about the one whose inheritance it was, real talk. Now I hear him saying, you think it's her. He said that's his inheritance. You get what I'm saying? That's his, is what I hear him saying. Like, but he said they'll understand it because they've been taken from by people who deem other people beneath them, to where, no, I could never, not that. You get what I'm saying? So there's people that have been didn't get their inheritance, and then it was because of these reasons that they said they didn't get it. But he said, I hear God saying, does that matter? None of that matters, because it was theirs. That's what he meant by, it don't matter if they're good or bad. It don't matter, because that's mine, is what he said. That God said the tithe is his. And I was about to try to let you off to say, find some place to tithe. But I hear God saying, I'm not allowed to. I'm, am I? That's when I went, am I allowed to? Hold up. Like, he said, no, I hear him saying I can, but they need to know that all ground ain't equal. That's what I hear him saying. Like, or I guess equal? No. All ground ain't good ground. Is that what you're saying? No, all ground ain't the least of these. That's what he said. All ground ain't the least of these. Yeah, that's exactly what he said. Okay. So I just want to say this. I didn't want to come back and say this, but I had to come back right now, or I would have never said it. You get what I'm saying? I needed y'all to see ain't nothing changed. It ain't like I started studying something new. It ain't like I made another move. Your girl sat down with her little Walmart salad. Here, let me tell you your girl real situation. Literally, no job, no food stamps, on Social Security, eating $3 salads from the, praise God, if you don't got much money for food and you gotta feed your family, Walmart has $3 salads, right? This is a whole dinner, you know, because it comes with chicken. It even comes with its own fork. Like a fork comes with it and everything. It comes with everything you need to have a ready-made meal for $3. So, but it ain't the least of these. Thank you, Father. And he said, that's what sanctifies you unto me. Not me. Not me. He said, that's what sanctifies you unto me. So he said, you better make sure the ground is good, or the least, or wait. So how do I explain this? The need for which you give into really does match the amount of what you trying to say, Father? They correspond in some kind of way. Because I keep hearing him say, like, he's reiterating the least of these. Because, like, the Rothschilds and Boule and all these different collaborations are collaborations that are meant to take you away from seeing and acknowledging the least of these. Is what you know what I mean? It's like he gave me another name, but I don't want to make nobody mad. You get what I'm saying? But there's some names on here to where he's like, not, and it ain't that he's saying good or bad. He's saying the sanctification happens from the least of these. So that's what I need to let you know. Okay. I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I'm going to let you know this. I ain't want to come back and say this, but the serendipity of it all that got us here 5 hours teaching was worth, like, I would have never told you about this if I didn't come back right now and told you about it so that you can see the serendipity of it all. So I'm going to say this. God said, please don't get mad at me, y'all. I don't mean no harm. Or better yet, if you do, take it up with God. There's enough supernatural stuff happening to where I don't even know what to say. You know what I mean? I don't know how to appease you if I'm lying. I mean, like, even if I'm telling the truth, I don't know how to appease you. But this is what God said. If you want to give unto this ministry, that is the cash app for it. If not, find you Now, this is what I was trying to say earlier. I was about to give you a way out. Let's say if not. Let's say you don't like me. Let's say I'm annoying. Let's say whatever the case may be. What, you just stopped by to laugh at me. I don't know. Let's say that's the case. I hear God saying, regardless on good or bad, it is important that you do give away a tenth of your earnings to him. To him. You get what I'm saying? So however you got that oxen, whatever you got, he said it's important to make sure you give away a tenth to the least of these. There you go, Father. I hear you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I needed him to give me something too so I could come back live again. Because how do you bring your face forward? I always wondered how those pastors could bring their face forward after standing there lying to you. I've seen them. Oh, I've seen them. Remember that one? What they say? I think it said Malachi when he said, should a man rob God? But they never tell you what God was robbed about. Yeah, no, they were bringing him diseased meat as offerings. That's what it was. It was literally, diseased stuff that they were putting into him. Pumping in, saying that this is all you get, God. We gonna go take the big the big bulls, but we gonna give you, we gonna sacrifice lame animals, like the least. We're going to sacrifice the least unto you, Father, when God said he wants the best. You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, I needed that statement so that way I could come back. I am so human. I am so human and regular and the least of these. I'm definitely a least. I know what I'm going through, the least. But that human part, I don't want to say that. That makes me feel, don't it feel weird? I don't even want to. But I'm letting y'all know he said it. Like, y'all know me. He got to put my foot to the fire to make me tell you some of these things. Because anything else you want to say, Father? He said, tell the people thank you. Okay. He said, tell the people thank you. And I've done all I know how to do tonight. But he told me to tell you good night. So that is it. God bless you guys. Peace. And I love you. I love you. And it's hard. So I just love you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.